Hey everybody, it's Nancy Giuliano back in my nook, coming to you on Friday of Memorial Day weekend. And today I'm going to show you the 4 cards that I've created for this Monday's virtual card class. All 4 cards feature cardstock vellum that we have in our catalog. The first card that I'm going to show you is the Happy Birthday card, and I made it with the vellum that we got for free during this past celebration season. The Label Me Fancy Punch, which I used the saying from a set that I just recently got, and it's kind of a fun set. Here's a card. I got the happy birthday from that, and it has a lot of different sayings. I made you a card because you're worth it. I'm here if you need me, and words cannot express deep sorrow. So it's kind of a nice variety of sayings to put in your cards. The dies come from the Peaceful Moments die set. The large flower has 2 pieces. The open framelit is what I used to cut the vellum with, and that was an easy cut. The top piece I cut with a detailed die, and that was with Whisper white cardstock. Now this one's a little trickier because it's very, very fragile, and the grooves, it's a little bit harder to get out. So what I did was I put a piece of wax paper in between my cardstock and the die. So I did the cutting plate, the cardstock, the white cardstock, a piece of wax paper, and then the framelit itself, and then ran it through. And it was much, much easier to pop out. So that's a little trick for that one. The leaves, there's 2 sections for each leaf, kind of an open area, and these popped out really easily using the old olive cardstock. And then the detail part, which goes on top of the leaf, is I use Mossy Meadow cardstock. And you can see how they just fit right on top. And I just used a little bit of glue with that, and it gives it nice detail to the leaf. Okay, and then I just popped it up on a dimensional dot. And I also did a little sponging around the outside of this with another dimensional dot there. So that's that card. Okay. The next card I want to show you is my Poppies card. Now this is a fun technique that I haven't done in a real long time, so it was fun to do this again. This is the cardstock, or the vellum cardstock, and I cut it out with the rectangular stitch framelits, and then the base of the cardstock is Poppy Parade, figuring that worked well with the Poppy stamp set. And the embossing folder is the new one. That's the Ornate Flower 3D folder. And you can get that now, and it's going to be in the new catalog as well. So these were just layered on. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to bring this up a little closer, how I brought out the white behind the poppies. So what I did was I stamped onto, I actually cut it out first with the rectangular stitch framelits, and I stamped it on the front. Now you're going to flip it over on the back, and with the pad and your stylus, okay, it has 2 ends, a thicker and a thinner end. You just rub it into the back of the poppies, and you can do this with any kind of open image. And you don't want to press too hard, but you can keep going until you get the darkness of the white. You know, the white shows darkly, if that makes sense. All right. And then when you flip it over, you see it's popping out. So it actually has a 3D effect, and it looks really kind of cool. And it's kind of like you're coloring with your stylus. If you use the smaller ends, just be a little bit more careful. You can use it for the smaller flowers, but just don't press too hard, because you can actually puncture the vellum. So that's what I did. I just kept going around, and I wasn't even that careful, and it just fell right into place. So that shows you how I did that to the vellum. Okay, and again, here's the card. And that's fun to use with any image, like I said, that has an open area that you can use the stylus with. Okay, my next card is this card here. All right, and that's a Let's Celebrate You card, and I use the Springtime Impressions framelits, and these are actually on the retired list. It has 3 framelits this one, and the butterfly. And they were originally $29, and they're actually on sale now for $11.60. So that's a good deal. All right. And what I did was I folded my cardstock in half. The next piece of paper is the designer paper that was the Lily's paper from the celebration that we got for free. And you can use any designer paper. This technique works, obviously, whatever you have in your stash. And I cut out with the butterfly the pool party paper first. The pool party piece is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So I just kind of centered it, put it through the machine, and out came the image. Now, of course, this is the image that came out. You're not using it in this card, but you can save it for the inside of the card or just another card in the future. So that just put that aside. Then I placed it on top of the designer paper. And in the meantime, I went back and used the butterfly again with the vellum. Ran that through the machine, and that's your top piece. And vellum can be tricky to hide the adhesive. So the adhesive on this card is really down the center underneath the butterfly. So this is all loose here, which makes it look kind of cool. And I put rhinestones on the center, and you would never know where I placed the adhesive. And I got this saying, "Let's celebrate you," from the Itty Bitty birthday set, right over here. Okay, and the next card is the Good Morning Magnolia set, and this is just a beautiful stamp set. And what I did was I stamped and embossed directly on the vellum. So I'll show you the piece here. All right, and I used white pigment ink and white powder, heated it up till it was shiny, okay, and then colored it in. Now, there's different ways that you can color in vellum cardstock or any vellum, and it will dry. I use the blends, so I use the dark Old Olive, and I flipped it around to the back because I wanted a little bit more muted look, but you can do it on the front as well, and you color in the back like this. And then if you flip it around, you can see how it'll show better on here, but the olive shows right through. And you can see on the card how I put the white behind it, and that's how you can see that the color pops a little bit more. This is the Stitched Nested Labels dies in the catalog. Then the color here is the Petal Pink, and I did the same as the olive. I'm coloring from behind. And you don't even have to go in the lines because it's not going to show up, so it's pretty fast. You can go like this and then flip it over. Again, it shows up better on the white when it's up against a white background. And you can go back, and if you want it darker, just add some more. Now, another way of coloring the vellum is you can actually use a dauber, or a sponge, but you want to get more smaller area. A dauber is easier. So you go like this and just rub it in. And look at the back, you're gonna see that is showing through as well. And if you don't have any blends and you don't have the color ink, but you do have a marker, just our regular Stampin' Write markers also will work from the back. And again, you don't have to really worry about the details of going outside. And see that now. This is the let's see, the Mossy Meadow. So that's a little bit darker. I didn't use the olive marker on that one. Okay, now the next thing I did was I fussy cut the flower, and I just love to fussy cut, and a lot of you don't, but then I realized that I do own the framelits, so there you go. Framelits are easy cut, but I had to do it the hard way. Okay, so then I cut that out, and then I used the 1 1/8 inch circle scallop punch here. The Hello comes with the set, the Magnolia. And that scallop punch is also on sale. It was $16 originally, and it's on sale for $6.40. So that's really a good deal as well. Okay, and that's the 4 cards. I just want to show you one more thing. You can see I ran the vellum through the machine with the folder, and you can see how it may not show up too well, but it shows kind of a whitish look to it when it's, this is the Ornate Flower 3D again, embossing folder that we used in the Poppies card. Ran it through the Vellum, and it has a really cool effect as well. So that's it. Those are the 4 cards. And I'll show you one more time. I also use the ribbon that's in the Occasions catalog right now. That's a petal pink metallic edge ribbon. So that kind of that's how I picked the color matched with the color I chose to color it in. Put it on with a glue dot. So that's that one. Here's the butterfly, the poppy, and the happy birthday. All right, and that's it. Those are the cards for Monday. Let me know if you're interested, and have a great Memorial Day weekend. Take care, everyone, and hope you're all doing well. Bye-bye.